What's up, Star Chasers, and welcome to another drawing video. So for today, we are drawing my mom's dog, little Emma. And so Emma is Chihuahua and her nickname is MonaLisa. Now, I don't know why that is, but it just stuck, and so now she is forever MonaLisa. And so much so, wrong picture, that I want to draw her as the MonaLisa. Previously, I did draw Emma as the MonaLisa. I did the drawing on my iPad, and this time I wanted to do a proper painting because I haven't painted in a while and I wanted to test myself. So thanks to the power of digital art, I was able to I guess get the MonaLisa's body and Emma's head and figure out a nice pose and kind of color match the colors together, so that way I had a starting point. Next, I set up my little easel with canvas and first started sketching out the shape of Emma's head using some acrylic paint. And I used some water to thin it out and build up the layers and adjust the lines as I needed. Here I'm just using a brown color and then adding a little bit of shading with some of that washed out brown paint. So I printed out the that digital art Photoshop that I did so I can get the size right. And then adding a general brown wash to the canvas. It just helps fill up all of that white space. I should also note that I primed the canvas beforehand, so I put some gesso on, so that way the paint doesn't act all, I don't know, waxy. It sticks on properly. Here I am starting to color in Emma's natural color, that reddish brown. I tried to add some of that background color, but because she's such a light, she has like such light colored fur, the light colored background was not working, so I decided to just leave the background for the time being and just focus on her face. And I've got only a few colors that I'm using, so light browns and dark browns. Now I'm coming back in with a bigger brush and I'm mixing up some dark colored kind of blues and greens and browns to get that rich background, and so that way her head will stand out and it looks much better. It is hard to see in the video because even though I set up my tripod and I turned on the lights, it's very shiny, but we're trying. So next I've got a smaller brush and then going in and adding some detail for the eyes. I find sometimes the eyes to be quite important. It really gives character to your artworks, so you want to put some time and effort into getting them in. Next I'm going back and adding more detail, such as the other eye. You're not seeing the full shape of it, just a little bit of the, doggy side eye there. And going in and painting the nose and the ears. I find sometimes fur to be a little bit difficult because if you make it too furry, then she ends up looking like a long-haired dog rather than a short-haired dog. So it's finding that little bit of balance between adding a little bit of texture, especially on that neck, and also keeping it nice and smooth like on her forehead. Now here, I was a little bit confused because the real MonaLisa has human hands, and I figured, do I want to add human hands or do I want to add, doggy hands? So I went with the second choice. I looked up some photos on my phone where Emma kind of has her little paws crossed, and using that as inspiration to just color them in with that same reddish brown color. And then going in with the fabric, so starting with this kind of bright yellow, bright kind of grainy olive color, and then working in with some more darkish greens, some darkish browns to get some of that shading in place. People often like to use oil paints to do portraiture because you can add a lot more subtle detail, but for me, I'm a very impatient person. As you've seen, I work digital art and I don't have to wait for paint to dry on normal occasions, so I don't know how I would do in oil paints. So here I'm just using what I got, using acrylic paint, and just working and building up the layers so that we're getting that balance between our lights and our darks. Here I'm going back in with some more of that background color, as if the shadows of the clothes are receding into the darkness of the background. You might not be able to see it, but sometimes there's little white gaps exposed through the canvas texture, so just going in and filling in those spaces. Because this is a bit of a weird painting, we got my little doggy wearing these human clothes. Gotta also go back in and fill in the gaps so that the little doggy paws can fit in well with the sleeves. I think I only used 3 brushes, like a small brush, an even smaller brush, and a bigger brush for the background. You don't really need fancy materials, and yes, one more small brush for signing my name. Afterwards, at the very end, I used some acrylic medium to just put on a top coat, so that way it would kind of have a finished gloss and also protect the paint. And here we have the final artwork. This video was about 5 minutes or so to see, but really I think the final painting was like 3 hours or so, so it does take a while, even if you're a fast painter like me, which makes you think, if I did oil painting, how many weeks would you have to wait for that to dry? Ooh, that's tough work. Hats off to you oil painters. So anyway, here is the final artwork of our little doggy MonaLisa. So cute. And thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Bye bye everybody. Woo-hoo. Bye.